Independent National Football League. The Green Bay Packers are a professional American football team based in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The Packers compete in the National Football League as a member club of the National Football Conference North Division. It is the third oldest franchise in the NFL, dating back to 1919, and is the only non-profit, community-owned Major League professional sports team based in the United States. Home games have been played at Lambeau Field since 1957. The Packers are the last of the small-town teams, which were common in the NFL during the league's early days of the 1920s and 1930s. Founded in 1919 by Earl, Curly, Lambeau and George Whitney Calhoun. The franchise traces its lineage to other semi-professional teams in Green Bay dating back to 1896. Between 1919 and 1920, the Packers competed against other semi-pro clubs from around Wisconsin and the Midwest. Before joining the American Professional Football Association, the forerunner of today's NFL, in 1921, in 1933, the Packers began playing part of their home slate in Milwaukee until changes at Lambeau Field in 1995 made it more lucrative to stay in Green Bay full-time. Milwaukee is still considered a home media market for the team, although Green Bay is by far the smallest major league professional sports market in North America. Forbes ranked the Packers as the world's 27th most valuable sports franchise in 2019. With a value of $2.63 billion. The Packers have won 13 league championships, the most in NFL history, with 9 pre-Super Bowl NFL titles and 4 Super Bowl victories. The Packers won the first 2 Super Bowls in 1966 and 1967 and were the only NFL team to defeat the American Football League in NFL history, including both regular season and playoff games. The Packers are long-standing adversaries of the Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, and Detroit Lions, who today form the NFL's NFC North Division. They have played over 100 games against each of those teams through history, and have a winning overall record against all of them, a distinction only shared with the Kansas City Chiefs and Dallas Cowboys. The Bears-Packers rivalry is one of the oldest rivalries in U.S. professional sports history. Dating back to 1921, the Green Bay Packers were founded on August 11, 1919 by former high school football rivals Earl, Curly, Lambeau and George Whitney Calhoun. Lambeau solicited funds for uniforms from his employer, the Indian Packing Company, a meat packing company. He was given $500 for uniforms and equipment, on the condition that the team be named after its sponsor. The Green Bay Packers have played in their original city longer than any other team in the NFL. On August 27, 1921, the Packers were granted a franchise in the American Professional Football Association, a new National Pro Football League that had been formed the previous year. The APFA changed its name to the National Football League a year later. Financial troubles plagued the team and the franchise was forfeited within the year before Lambeau found new financial backers and regained the franchise the next year. These backers, known as the Hungry Five, formed the Green Bay Football Corporation. After a near miss in 1927, Lambeau's squad claimed the Packers' first NFL title in 1929 with an undefeated 1-2-0-1 campaign. Behind a stifling defense which registered 8 shutouts, Green Bay would repeat as league champions in 1930 and 1931. Bettering teams from New York, Chicago and throughout the league, with all-time greats and future Hall of Famers Mike Michalski, Johnny McNally, Cal Hubbard and Green Bay native Arnie Erber. Among the many impressive accomplishments of these years was the Packers' streak of 29 consecutive home games without defeat, an NFL record which still stands. The arrival of Don Hutson from Alabama in 1935 gave Lambeau and the Packers the most feared and dynamic offensive weapon in the game. Credited with inventing pass patterns, Hutson would lead the league in receptions 8 seasons and spur the Packers to NFL championships in 1936, 1939 and 1944. An Iron Man, Hutson played both ways, leading the league in interceptions as a safety in 1940. Hudson claimed 18 NFL records when he retired in 1945, many of which still stand. In 1951, his number 14 was the first to be retired by the Packers, and he was inducted as a charter member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1963. After Hudson's retirement, Lambeau could not stop the Packers' slide. He purchased a large lodge near Green Bay for team members and families to live. Rockwood Lodge was the home of the 1946-49 Packers. The 1947 and 1948 seasons produced a record of the 1st of October 12, and 1949 was even worse at 3-9. The lodge burned down on January 24, 1950, and insurance money paid for many of the Packers' deaths. Curly Lambeau departed after the 1949 season. Gene Ronzani and Lyle Blackburn could not coach the Packers back to their former magic, even as a new stadium was unveiled in 19